Introduction: A Beautiful Mess. The whimpering started first, just an annoying sound coming from down the hall through the darkness. Surprisingly, I woke up first, even though I usually sleep like a rock. Lying still, I secretly hoped my wife would hear the crying and make the trek down the hall to comfort whoever had begun moaning. Saturday night always seems restless when you're a pastor with 5 kids. Someone always wakes up. Funny how it never seems to happen on Monday night. Anyway, the moaning didn't stop. It got louder, turned into a full-scale cry, and finally, a blood-curdling scream. My youngest sons, Ethan, 5, and Owen, 3, were crying when I stumbled into their room. Ethan was on the top bunk, holding his stomach, and Owen on the bottom bunk, crying in fear. As I reached toward Ethan, he leaned over the railing of his bunk bed and threw up, the most I'd ever seen come out of a 5-year-old. I jumped out of the way, but felt the spray of vomit on my face. Owen screamed, "My eye! Ethan threw up in my eye!" By this time, Amy had arrived and, after a moment of shock, started to laugh. Into the bath went the boys while I cleaned up the carpet and the beds. What a mess! Amy and I have 5 beautiful children, now ages 5 to 17 years old. With 7 people living under one roof, things often get messy. The day-to-day routine has a way of piling up around you when this many people share life together. Sometimes 2.5 bathrooms don't seem to be enough, and often we set the dinner table with paper plates just to help with the immense cleanup. We have crazy days and sleepless nights, but it's not miserable. Disorganized? Sure. Frustrating? Sometimes, but our family is beautiful. We love each other, and we're finding our rhythm during this season after moving from Colorado Springs, Colorado, to Austin, Texas, to plant a new church called One Chapel. We packed all of our worldly possessions into 3 pods, sold our house in Colorado, and lived with friends for a month before moving to New Braunfels, Texas, 45 minutes outside of Austin, to live with Amy's mom. We spent almost 4 months looking for a house to rent in Austin, and we lived in that rental house for 1 year. Then we finally found a lovely house to purchase just around the corner from where we rented. That's 4 moves in less than 2 years. Did I mention that we planted a church during that time? We still don't have our pictures hung, and boxes continue to sit in several of our rooms and closets. We go about our days doing a little painting when we can and putting things where we think they should go as we have time. Our little family of 7 has settled into a routine, going to work and school, celebrating birthdays, doing homework, preparing for church on Sunday, fighting over the bathrooms, and generally enjoying life together. The half-painted walls are the backdrop for our Wednesday night Young Marrieds group. We've invited them not just into our house, but into our lives as well. This full of boxes, half-painted, bare-walled house reflects where we are in our journey and what's going on in our family. We feel blessed in the middle of our journey. We've cried together, fought through the bad days together, and encouraged one another. The church continues to grow phenomenally, and we're all working to do what God called us to do as a family. There's peanut butter and jelly smudged on the refrigerator, clothes on the bathroom floor, chips in the couch cushions, and empty milk glasses on the counter. In between middle school choir concerts, first grade Daddy's Day, high school football games, guitar lessons, preschool, and late-night talks, we're experiencing a beautiful life together. It's a bit of a mess, but it's our mess. A beautiful mess. Families aren't perfect, and neither are churches. Church planting has me thinking a lot about family. In many respects, One Chapel is an extension of the Parsley family. Our kids are working alongside us, serving in children's ministry, setting up chairs and sound systems, and leading worship or small groups. What's so amazing is to watch our kids embrace the calling that is on our family. Both Amy and I are pastors' kids, and our parents support and encourage us as we plant this church. The truth is that in the process, I've had to consider and reconsider the way we do church. You see, as a pastor, I don't want my kids to resent church because it feels more like a job than a family. I don't want to create something synthetic or mechanical. I want our church to be life-giving and organic. I want my kids to receive life in the midst of this experience, not just duty. Of course, I know that we can't avoid the struggle or responsibility that automatically comes with relationships. Every family has a set of chores that need to be done, and churches are no different. But what if I could treat my church like I treat my family? No, not the way I sometimes mistreat my family, but the way I know I should treat my family. What if I had the same love and grace for my church that I have for my own family? What would happen if I had hopes and aspirations for the young people in my church, the way I dream of a life for my own children? How would our church be different if we embraced our older members the same way we teach our children to honor their grandparents? What does a multi-generational church actually look like, and how would it interact with our fatherless and orphan culture? That's what this book is all about.